Okay, so you already told me that to distribute is to multiply. So to take A and multiply it to 3A, now you have 3A squared. Okay, when you multiply, you add your exponents. Technically, they both have a 1, right? And then A times 7 gives you positive 7A. There we go, like that. Our next one has a coefficient and a variable together. So we multiply like things. Negative 2m times m squared. Well, negative 2 is just going to stay negative 2, right? There was no other coefficient to multiply it with yet. So negative 2 is still here. And m times m squared is, there you go. Good. There's a little one right there. Right, now we do our middle piece. Negative 2, there's a coefficient now. So what's negative 2 times 6? Negative 12. And m times m squared. And then our last little bit, negative 2 times negative 1, positive 2, and m times nothing is still just m. Okay? Our third example, we'll go purple. Our third example has a coefficient and 2 different variables. So here, 5xy times x. The 5 is going to be the same, the y is going to be the same, but what's x times x? X squared, good. Here on the end, I can do 5 times negative 2 to give me negative 10. The x just stays x, but what is y times y? Y squared. Good. So we multiplied. We had a product, and we multiplied them together to get our polynomial. What we are doing today, the first step of factoring, okay, first off, what is it, okay? Yes. So if I'm picking it, I'm going backwards, it's a form of division, okay? It's a form of dividing. So instead of multiplying things through, we're going to try to divide things out. So today we're going to divide out a greatest common factor. We're going to see what all pieces of the polynomial, what do they all have in common? Can they all be divided by 2? Do they all have an m that I can take out of each term? Okay, so today we're doing greatest common factor. If it can't, if it's as low as it can go, it's called a prime. Okay, like a prime number can only be divided by itself in 1, right? There's nothing more you can do. Same thing with the polynomial. If you can't take anything out besides a 1, it doesn't change what's going on. It's a prime polynomial. Okay. So my goal today is to work through the odds, and then your homework will be the evens. Okay. There are several ways to factor, and we're going to take a day for each one. So this week we're going to work on greatest common factor today. We're going to factor trinomials, which means 3 pieces, tomorrow, but don't have a GCF, when the first term is just a 1. And then on Wednesday, we do something called slip and slide. It's when that first piece has a number involved, like 2x squared or 4x squared, not just x squared. Thursday, we're going to do one called factor by grouping, where we kind of split it up half and half. And then on Friday, we're going to stop and do a review day. We're going to do another 4QR, so bring your Chromebook. So we're going to do another little EOC review, and then we're going to review the factoring methods we've done this week. And then next week, we have more factoring methods.
Chromebook Friday?
Yeah. Yep, Chromebook on Friday. All right. So today we're seeing what do all of my pieces have in common that I can divide out. Factoring is dividing. Okay. So look at our very first example. We have 3x plus 12. What could I divide out of both of those pieces? A 3. If I divide them both by 3, 3 gets moved out front, and what's left inside? X, and then plus 4. Good. So see how our warm-up, that's how our problem started. They started with a piece and then a parenthesis. So we're taking it backwards to look like that. So we have divided it out front. You've moved it out front. You've kicked him out of the party. Rejected. He's at the door looking through the window. Let me in. No. Okay. How about number 3? What can I divide out of 5x and 30y? A 5. Yep. So 5 got kicked out. So what's left in this first term? Just an x. Good. And what's left in the second term? A 6y. Good. So 30 divided by 5 is 6. And then the y is still there. Okay, so we're dividing pieces out. All right. How about 6a squared and 27? Yes, sir.
Where did you get the 2 in number 1?
I didn't do a 2.
It was like number 2.
I divided by 3. Yep, I divided by 3.
Okay.
Boop, there you go. Yep. And that's a good thing to bring up. I can't divide by a 2 and then a 3. Like when we do greatest common factor, it does have to be the same number for the entire thing. So if I did have a mixed match of numbers, I would be wrong. I can't do that. How about 6a squared plus 27? I think I heard it over here. 3. I can divide these both by 3. Is there anything bigger? So you always have to check that. So 6 can only be divided by 1 and 6, 2 and 3, right? So 6 would be great, but 27 is not divisible by 6. Does that make sense? So the biggest one, the greatest between those two numbers is the 3. Okay. All right. What is 6 divided by 3? 2. I still have a squared. And that's what's 27 divided by 3? 9. Good. All right. How do you think 7's a little bit different? 27 CD. Okay, there's a negative. I also see that they both have a D this time. So I can take out a number and a letter, right? Looking at 21 and 3, what can I divide those by? 3, right? Do you notice that they also both had the letter D? So I could take out a D from both pieces as well. So 3D gets divided out. When we multiplied, we added exponents, right? So when I'm dividing a D out, I'm going to subtract my exponents. 21 divided by 3, 7. Did I touch the C? Nope, we still good. D divided by D, it's gone, yeah. D to the power of 0, right? Which means it doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. It got moved up front. He didn't disappear. He got moved out front, right? My next piece, what is negative 3 divided by 3? Negative 1, good. And D divided by D? 0. He got pushed outside. Okay. You can always check yourself. If you're not sure, you can always multiply it back through like you did in our warm-up. Like, okay, 3 and 7, that's 21 CD, and I multiply that, that gives me negative 3D. Okay, yes, I did do it right. So you can always check yourself if you need to. Take this guy and multiply it back through if needed. All right.
Would we touch this one because of the exponent? There would be looking at the because the exponent would be just leave it 15k.
I mean, we're still going to divide something out of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything beforehand. So look at your numbers first. Look at 15 and 30. What can you divide out of 15 and 30?
15.
We can divide 5, but is that the biggest? 15 would be the biggest, right? If we divide by 5, then we wouldn't be done, okay? And it's the greatest common factor. We got to do the biggest one. So you want to divide by 15. Okay. They both have a B. They also both have an A, right? I can take an A and a B out of both pieces. So Lots of people getting kicked out of the party. 15AB are all getting kicked out. 15 divided by 15, just 1, okay? He got pushed out front. A squared divided by A. I had 2 of them. 1 got pushed outside, so how many is left inside? Just 1A is left inside. I had a B, but he got pushed outside, so do I have a B left inside? No. All right, negative 30 divided by 15. Negative 2. The A that I had got pushed out front. The B that I had got pushed out front. So that is it. 15AB times A minus 2. There you go. Good. There's no numbers, right? But what do they both have in common? They both have an A. So if I move A out front, what's left in this first term? Just a B. Good. What's left over here? Negative 1. Good job. I thought I was going to trick you. You did not fall for it. Good job. We doing okay? Okay. All right. Woohoo! Ready for the back? Take it piece by piece. Look at the numbers and then look at the letters. It's okay. Don't freak out. I know that's a big jump between 11 and 13. Oh, you can technically. All right, so here we go. 18 and 48, right? Think about the number 18. 18 can be divided by 1 or 18, 2 or 9, 3 or 6, right? Those are all of your factors of 18, correct? Right? So something has to divide out of 18 and also divide out of 48 and be the biggest in this list. Can you divide 48 by 18? Can you? Try it. No, it's a decimal. Okay. Can you do 48 divided by 9? No. Can you do 48 divided by 6? Yes. So that's kind of the process to go through because I can divide it by 2 and 3 as well, okay? But 6 is the biggest one. So that's a process to kind of go through to figure that out if you're not quite sure. Okay, so these can both be divided by a 6. Do they both have an A? Yep. Do they both have a B? Do they both have a C? Now, look at this. See how we have C squared and C3? So could I take a C squared out of both of them? Right? If I only took one C out, you would still have the C's left inside, right? So take out as many as you can. Okay, so 6AB squared got kicked out. Term by term, what is 18 divided by 6? 3. What is A squared divided by A? What is B divided by B? 1. I don't have to write it. What is C squared divided by C squared? 1. It gets canceled. So see how if I only put one C out, there would still be a C left? Okay, gotta watch out. My other side, what is negative 48 divided by 6? Negative 8, good. What is A divided by A? 1, okay, don't need it. It got moved up front already. B divided by B? Already moved him up front. C3 divided by C2? C. Okay, I want to show you up here. If we only took out one C, then I would have 3AC minus 6. Yeah, I would have that left over. So see how that's not done? They both still share a C. So that's why we have to take out C squared. Okay, so what's left inside the parentheses, who's left in the party, should not have anything in common. Okay, because that would be the problem right there. 15. Why don't you like 15? Okay, there's nothing to divide it. So what's this called? This is a prime one. Yep, this is an example of a prime polynomial. They don't share a letter. One has an X, one has a Y. And the numbers 5 and 13 don't divide by anything that they share. All right. 17, we have 3 pieces now. This is a trinomial. Do you think we're going to change what we're doing? No, still look. Now the thing is, all 3 pieces have to be able to be divisible by whatever we're taking out. Okay, right, the same thing. So let's look at numbers first. 6, 14, and 10 can all be divided by 2. Good.
Or 2 squared. Not squared.
You're there. You're right there.
2. 2 to the power of 2.
Almost. We're done with 2's. Our y squared. Our y is going to be... Yes, that's you were right there. So we have y4, y3, y2. I can take y2 out of all of those pieces. Remember, if you only took one y out, you would have one y left over in all of your pieces, and you can't do that. You want everything out. That wouldn't be the greatest common factor. All right, 2y squared got kicked out. So who's left inside? Yep. Uh-huh. There you go. Yep, because the only y squared there already got moved out front. Are we feeling okay about it? Yeah? Not today. Today, this is all we're focusing on. After today, this is like step 1 before you do the rest of factoring. Step 1 is always find the GCF. I told you there's lots of ways. Lots of ways. Okay. So like tomorrow, so that 3y squared plus 7y minus 5, okay, I could possibly factor that if using the method we're going to learn on Wednesday. Okay, so there is more that could possibly happen. Today we're not doing that though. We'll talk about it when we get there. We're going to slip and slide. Doesn't that sound fun?
No, I don't like slipping.
I always get hurt.
Yeah, I always get like the ground.
I get injured somehow.
I always find like the one bone.
Yeah. Do you think y'all can do number 19?
Yeah.
How about you try it? Try number 19. Try 19. All right, so 14, 28, and 14. They can all be divided by 7. You're not wrong, but they can also be divided by 14. That's the biggest one. Okay? If you only divide by 7, I want to show you what happens. If you only divide by 7, you're left with what? 2, 4, and 2. See how those could be divided again? Okay? So that's something you should look for, because sometimes that just might happen. You might not think of the biggest number. Okay? But notice 2, 4, 2. Oh, I could divide by 2 again. If I divide by 2, what's 7 times 2? There's your 14. There's your greatest common factor. Okay? Yes, you do need the one on the end. Good question. So, they all have an H, right? So the H got divided out. 14 divided by 14, that's going to cancel. Okay, that's gone. If you wanted to put a 1 right here, you could. The G didn't get messed with. H squared divided by H, I have an H left over. My middle term, 28 divided by 14 is 2. The H that was there already got moved up front. My last one, so 14H, that whole term got moved up front, right? It is 3 terms. I can't just make a term disappear. So if it started off with 3 pieces, it needs to stay with 3 pieces. So, yes, yep. So you have to represent the term. This was 3 terms. It needs to stay 3 terms. Yes?
I paid attention last lesson, and I got a 95 on the quiz, and my grade went up 2.
I know. It's amazing what happens. All right, 21. Can you divide any numbers? No. There's nothing to divide by when it comes to my coefficients. But what about my letters? Look at your M's. We have M3, M2, and M. Just an M can come out of all of them. Good. I have N squared, and N3. So yeah, Aubrey says we can also take out an N from all three pieces. So M N is being divided out of my trinomial. Ooh, look at all these fun vocab words. So if you had M3 and we moved an M out front, we have M squared left over. Good. The only N got moved out front, so I don't have it anymore. My middle piece, M squared, took an M out, so I have an M left inside, and I have an N. Good. Yep. And then my last piece, my 5 is still here. The only M I had got moved up front. N3, I took one N out, so I have N squared left over. Good. Very good. Last one. Think you can handle it? Try it. Come on. Come on. I want you to try it. So 35a squared minus 20ab squared plus 15a. I want you to try number 23. All right, check with me. Your greatest common factor was 5a this time. Good. 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 So your b squared just stayed b squared, right? We didn't touch the b's. The b's were fine. The a's are who got kicked out. One of the a's got kicked out. Okay? 35 divided by 5 is 7. A squared, take 1a out, so I still have 1a left inside. Yep. Okay. Here, that a got moved out front. That a got moved out front. All right? Yeah? Good. The bottom part is just a recap. Okay? So, like, if you're ever lost or confused, this is a recap. These are, like, the steps of what to do. Okay? Look at your coefficients. Your coefficients are the numbers, right? Look at your numbers first. See what you can divide out of them. Then, if you're looking at your letters or your variables, they have to all be present in each term. If a variable is common, take the one with the smallest exponent. That's what we did each time. And then divide all the terms by the GCF. All right? So good. I'm hoping you don't have homework. You have a good 20 minutes. You should be able to get through all the evens. Okay? When you do, I would love to stamp it. Okay? So use the remainder 20 minutes to work through those evens so you don't have homework tonight.